it taunts my tires. Could you be the one to hold me up when all is falling down? And I will ride down this old highway again if you're right behind me. Pavement and stone are too much on my own. Will you ride behind me? Will you ride behind me? Twist, turn, this road winds close, so hold on tight. Rain, storm, wind, I'll make it through with you. And I will ride down this old highway again if you're right behind me. Pavement and stone are too much on my own. Will you ride behind me? Will you ride behind me? Well, I will ride down this old highway again if you'll ride behind me. The pavement and stone are too much on my own. Will you ride behind me? Well, I will ride down this old highway again if you'll ride behind me. The pavement and stone are too much on my own. Will you ride behind me? 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 Love, this concrete's cracked, it taunts my
Nobody can hear us. We got audio now? All right, we got video now? Excellent. Pretty soon I'm going to have pizza. Welcome to... You can hear us. Excellent. Welcome to the Ride for Doug 2020 live stream. This is very strange. I have never done anything like this before in my life. So please be patient as I'm finding my way through this. I'm hoping that you will be able to join us in the YouTube comments. If you're holding your phone up vertically, if you're watching this on a phone, the bottom half can be where you see the comment or the YouTube chat. If you're using a laptop, it's usually on the right-hand side. We'd really encourage you to, give a shout out. Let us know you're there. If you've got something you want to say, go ahead, say it. And somebody will wave a piece of paper at me and tell me what it was, because I can't actually see it here. Okay. With that out of the way, this is good to be here today, and I had a great ride. We had, I believe it was 47 bikes on the road with us today, and we went through some beautiful roads. We just about got rained on. I think we probably arrived about 15 minutes after the rain went through. So it was just stunning and beautiful. So today, if you can hear me, it's because of Sarah. She's helping us. Sarah's running the tech today. And I should mention, this is how we do church these days. And Sarah's one of the staff who's worked miracles to get this running. The entire live stream computer died a horrible death, and the replacement was just assembled this week. And the church used it for the first time this morning as a beta test for the Ride for Doug program. So thank you for your service, everybody who tested it this morning. And so for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Cam. I'm Doug's dad. And somewhere in this room is the rest of our family, and you'll see some of us at various points. People who know me know that I like to mix metaphors together once in a while. So in that light, I'm going to say that if there's a title to this year's program, it would be Any Village Can Raise an Idiot. This isn't that village. So that's the theme for our show today. And if you want to kind of go back to a few days and listen to Bob and Doug talking, this is the theme for our segment today. We're going to look back at all the different people who've helped Doug on his journey up to grad. And I'm going to be your MC tonight. And along the way, we're going to put in some greetings from people that have sent them in over the past week. I thought that would be a fun way of kind of seeing faces and everybody participating. So just a couple of things from the ride today. It was incredibly powerful watching all of those bikes come out. It was incredibly powerful watching the screensaver come on. And it was just really emotional, and I really appreciate all the effort that everybody's put in to get us this far. And so with that said, I want to get on to a couple of greetings. And so the first bunch of greetings come from two main groups of people: Doug's relatives and Ride for Doug volunteers. And as you'll notice, there's a lot of overlap in that area. So we're going to start with one from Doug's cousin in Newfoundland, and then we're going to hear from his grandparents. We'll then go to Lisa, who you probably missed meeting at the registration table. I know she missed you. And Sue, who is a longtime repeat volunteer and a member of our church family. And then we'll wrap up this segment with a few thoughts from Teresa, who I'm sure you'll recognize. So let's roll that.
Hi. Well, I kind of really wanted to do this on a motorcycle, except my mom says I'm way too young. So I had to do it on my bike. So I want to wish my cousin Doug a happy graduation and a happy ride for Doug from me, Fiona, Gus, Kathy, and Darren. Okay.
Hi, Doug. I want to share a memory that I have from a former Ride for Doug. It was a particularly rainy Sunday afternoon when we started out for the Ride for Doug. Your Nana and I always followed the last biker, and we did the same this time, and we took the cookies that Sam and I had baked and we took them to the first rest stop. We had our cookies, and when it was time to leave, we filed in order again, your Nana and I staying behind the last bike. Little did we know that the bikers just ahead of us had decided they were going to pack it in. It was just too rainy for them. So we followed them, and lo and behold, we ended up at a pub in Mission. We had a good laugh with the bikers, but we didn't stop for a pint. By that time, we realized that the bikers would be much ahead of us, so we decided to go to the second rest stop and meet you there. Every time I tell you this story, you have a little grin on your face. And all the times after that, when we leave the churchyard, you say to me, "But Grandma, don't you stop at a pub again." I just want to wish you all the best. I know it's been a disappointing year for you, but I wish you all the best and send my love to you.
Hi Doug, happy grad. You've done a wonderful job as a student, you've been a wonderful grandson, and our congratulations go to you. And the monarch wanted to say hi.
Hi, Doug.
Hi Doug. What I've enjoyed the most over the past 10 years of helping out for Ride for Doug is seeing everyone's smiles as they arrive year after year, no matter what the weather, to help out, support, or ride along with you in such an amazing event. Doug, you have a unique ability to bring people from so many different areas of your life together each year. I love watching you visit with the riders and checking out all their bikes before the ride, and I'm glad that despite the circumstances, Ride for Doug can go on this year, and congratulations on your graduation.
Hi, Dad. This is Sue Chafee wearing my favorite shirt. You are a courageous, adventurous young man. Congratulations on your graduation.
Hey Doug, congratulations.
Was there one more? Oh, I'm on? Okay, so we're going to get to Teresa's in a little bit. Like I said, bearing with us on the technical stuff. So some of the key people in a young man's life are his friends and his teachers at school. Coming from an extended family where teachers are common, I know just how much heart and soul is poured into every student's life. Doug has been fortunate to have teachers throughout the school years that have taken the time to get to know him. They actively looked for ways for Doug to excel. Often students with challenging situations are left to just slide past with reduced expectations because it's easier than figuring out how to engage them. For the most part, this was not the road taken. So do I have any of the teachers on the chat right now? Say something. If you've been part of Doug's education, I'd like to see if any of you are here and give you a shout out for a job really well done. So coming up next are a couple of videos from Doug's school life. We start with the man who was superintendent of the school when Doug started there, and then we'll move on to the special education assistant that has worked with him daily for the past year and a bit. And then we'll end with a student that Doug is assisting in mentoring. So if we can roll this clip.
Hi, Doug. Remember me? It's Henry Vanderveen. Before I retired a few years ago, I used to see you regularly at LCS. I remember when you started at Langley Christian School. I even had the privilege of recommending that your sister Sam and you join the school community all those years ago. And I'm grateful that you've been a very important part of LCS ever since then. And while you were a student at the school, You became famous through the Ride for Doug. I'm proud to know you and pleased that I've been able to participate in almost all of the rides except when I was out of town. Doug, this is a huge milestone for both you and the school. We've been blessed to watch you grow in so many ways and become a friend to so many. Teachers and students at the school will miss your smiles and your quirky sense of humor. You kept a smile on your face even as mobility became more and more of an issue for you. None of us can fully appreciate the challenges you live with every day, but all of us who know you have been enriched by your resilience and positive attitude as you work through the difficulties you face. I imagine that the last few months have been particularly difficult for you, having to complete your graduation year at home. But from what I know about you, with the help of your incredible parents, I'm sure you've done what was necessary to finish strong. None of us, including any one of the 2020 graduating class, knows what tomorrow will bring. But we do know that when something ends, something else, perhaps even more exciting, begins. And I hope that you're looking forward to this new chapter of your life. I'd like to share a verse from Deuteronomy 31, verse 8, as you look toward the months and years ahead. It goes like this. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Congratulations, Doug. By the way, if you see me riding around town on my yellow Goldwing, I'd be honored if you gave me a wave. Bye-bye.
Hey Doug, Mr. Odell here. Hope you had a fantastic ride for Doug today. Sorry I couldn't be there to celebrate with you, but I just want to let you know how proud I am of you finishing high school. It's a huge accomplishment. I wanted to talk to you quickly about two of the fantastic memories we've had together. Number one, I'm at a lake for a reason. That would be my number one memory with you, would be fishing at Trinity Western and you catching that massive bass. Yes, unfortunately, it ended in you breaking your leg. We can blame that on Mrs. Francis right here. But I just want you to remember how big that bass was that you caught and how great of a time we had together. My second memory with you would be going to Rocco's Diner. I have never seen an individual so defeated by a meal, and that was just a fantastic memory and fantastic image that I will take on forever. So congratulations again, Doug, on finishing high school. You rocked it, man, and I can't wait for you to come visit me in Okanagan and our Vegas trip in about 4 years. So take care, Doug. Enjoy. Have a great day.
Hello, Doug. It's me, your buddy, Haiku. I wanted to make this video to tell you how much I miss seeing you and how thankful I am that I've been able to hang out with you for the past year and a half. You're awesome. Enjoy the ride today, and I can't wait to see you at grad. Congratulations, Doug. Love, Haiku.
Yes, that is Haiku, and it's a pad service dog in trainings. Doug and Haiku have quite a history together. And so at this time, I think it's only fair that we give Doug the mic. No drops.
This is Doug. Thank you. Oh, like that? This is Doug. Thank you for coming. Over the years, many of you have been helpful in many different ways. You have made my life easier than it would have been if I had to do this on my own. There are 3 major places that people have contributed money. One of these places you have donated is Muscular Dystrophy Canada. They are the major organization helping Canadians with all types of muscular dystrophy. For example, they have funded research for cures, funded research for treatments. They've funded equipment for others right across Canada, supplied information to my teachers and to help them understand what I am going through. It's sent people to my school to help other classmates understand DMD, and they help my parents know more about what they needed to do to raise me. You have also helped me directly towards my equipment. For example, you added tilt and lift feature to my power wheelchair so I can reach things, talk to people, and see over barriers at events, such as the start line at the Mission Raceway. It has helped fund a stair lift so I can get up and down stairs safely and efficiently. Finally, you are helping fund a vehicle for me to driving something I really enjoy, and I'm looking forward to be able to drive the road with all of you. You have already fundraised enough to quickly purchase a used van when my mobility suddenly became much worse due to a broken leg. You are currently fundraising enough for me to get a vehicle, hopefully not a minivan, and I can drive it myself. This will be a long process, though. There is an indescribable feeling when you realize how many people have supported you. Every year, seeing people showing up, just being there is a lot. When we pull out the lot information, it's a big display of how much support there is for me. It helps remind me that I am not alone in the challenges I face. Thank you for the support over the years. I look forward to many more rides together.
Thank you, Doug. I guess I'll use this camera until the next video. One of the goals of Ride for Doug is to bring communities together. If you've been to a Ride for Doug before, you'll know we're about much more than just a bunch of motorcycles going for a ride down some pretty incredible roads. We're working together for a cause. We're fighting muscular dystrophy. We're doing it for Doug, but we're also doing it for others like Doug all across Canada. To do that, we are teamed up with Muscular Dystrophy Canada. MDC is the leading organization in Canada for helping families dealing with all different types of muscular dystrophy. They fund research into cures, research into treatments. They're a valuable resource for parents and teachers, and they help families with funding for medical equipment. We are so privileged to be able to help them help others all across Canada. Now, normally, we'd have a representative here to tell you all about it, but they too needed to send in their greetings remotely. So with that, let's go over to the Muscular Dystrophy Canada people.
Hi there, I'm Renee McDermott, the fundraising specialist for BC with Muscular Dystrophy Canada. I'm new to the team, so I haven't had a chance to meet you yet, but I'm very excited to be part of your village in this amazing event you've put together. Congratulations, Doug, on your graduation, and thank you to everyone who's helped make the Ride for Doug a success for so many years.
Hi, I'm Stacey Lintern, Interim CEO for Muscular Dystrophy Canada. We wanted to reach out to the Penner family and thank you for your wonderful support over the years. Over the years, through your amazing campaign, Ride for Doug, you've supported muscular dystrophy so that we can deliver programs and services to clients. This includes our funding for equipment for critical devices and medical devices, as well as our systems navigation program, helping people navigate through complicated systems to achieve their own aspirations and goals, while we continuously invest into research to find cures for those affected by neuromuscular disorders. This year, COVID-19 has not stopped you, and it hasn't stopped us. You have found a creative way to bring your community together to virtually launch the Ride for Doug campaign. We also know that Doug is graduating from high school this year. So on behalf of Muscular Dystrophy Canada, congratulations and what a wonderful achievement. We know with your allies and your supporters and us and your community, your family, your friends,
rallying around you, you will continue to do remarkable things. So for now, have fun, be safe, and Doug, have a blast.
So if anybody has any questions for MDC, they'll be going to be, oh, wait, they're not going to be at the side table after the barbecue. Right. Maybe next year. Just as an aside, I'm going way off script here, and otherwise I would have a slide to put up for this. Do you remember the picture of Doug with his full beard that I used for this year's Ride for Doug picture? I can tell you right now, I got a lot of people asking whether it was photoshopped or not, and I can categorically answer that was not photoshopped at all. That was 100% real artificial beard, professionally installed by Sam, our daughter, who, by the way, graduated from Blanche McDonald this past fall. So she's kind of a grad too. I'd give her a shout out and tell her to come up here, but she's saying something about helmet head. So she's waving from the back, I think. Is that you? Yes, it's waving. So real beard or real hair, not Doug's. All right, back on script. The next group of people in the village, I guess they're village people, that raise strong youth are medical practitioners. It's been a crazy year for our family, not just because Doug is graduating from school. Doug is also graduating into the adult care system of our provincial medical system. This is a massive change, and it involves replacing each and every one of his specialists with a new one in the new world. So Doug will be transferring, among others, to a new neurologist, cardiologist, endocrinologist, respirologist, ophthalmologist, psychiatrist, and physiatrist. I can't even pronounce that one. But on the good news side, he gets to keep both his family doctor and his orthopedic surgeon. So that should save a lot of time. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Okay. So that's just the start of it. If you include all of the new physiotherapists, occupational therapists, and the new nurses that assist in each specialty, you can see how much time we're going to be spending in medical offices. With the COVID restrictions, we needed to move many of his appointments to video. On one call this last month, we had 8 different specialists on the same call. You can certainly say that the villagers in the medical community have held up their end of the bargain. Thank you. So I don't know if any of his BC Children's people are in on this on the chat today. I thought that there might be 1 or 2 showing up. So if you are, comment, say something. You probably forgot to log in. That would be my guess. So the next video is a pretty short one, but it comes with some stories. This is Nella, who was the research assistant at Children's Hospital for Doug's 7-year run on an experimental drug. She also came to Ride for Doug a number of times and handed out door prizes at one of them. One year, she wasn't able to make it to the ride because she was, in Ontario getting married. But while she was getting her wedding photos taken, she suddenly took off across the street to pose for this photo with 2 random bikers in traffic. She called it her Ride for Doug. I think she's still married. So why don't we take a look at what Nella has to say for Doug.
Hey Doug, Nella here. Just wanted to say hi and send you a quick note to wish you happy grad. As you can see, I've done some changes since you've last seen me. So yeah, hope you're doing great. Just wanted to say that you were one of the best and funniest patients I've ever had the pleasure of working with. You played a lot of pranks on me, so thank you for that. And yeah, keep in touch. Lots of love. Bye.
So in that video, Nella referred to a couple of pranks that she didn't put in the video. If you don't know Doug, you probably could even, well, no, let me rephrase that. If you know Doug, you'll know how much he enjoys pranking people. So during his medical study, there were a lot of safety tests on Doug's urine. They were almost weekly. It got to the point that Doug would actually ask, and I quote, he would ask if anyone needed some before going for his first pee of the day. Doctors, for some reason, always wanted the first of the day. And if there were any concerns with the test, so sample cup for one test. If there were any concerns with the test, we would get asked to bring in a full day's worth of urine. If Doug's SEAs and teachers are watching, we referred to that as the big orange jug day. Keep that in your school locker. So for one appointment, we brought in an empty jug of cat litter. Filled halfway up with water. We labeled it with his patient number and the words week 52 sample. You should have seen the eyes of the families who were in the same study but hadn't got to week 52 yet. Nella took it and proceeded to show it around to all of the doctors. I don't think I have seen anyone laugh so hard. And then there was the time that Doug brought in a sample cup filled with pickled banana peppers, complete with all of the yellow juice around them. Of course, he did the classic drink a sample with apple juice. I also seem to recall drinking lemonade from sample cups while around a campfire and emailing in a photo. I could go on for a long time here. But, well, for another example, when we go camping, our sugar is stored in a sample cup. Okay, back on track. It's now the time of the program where we give the prize to the first registering rider. Except we don't have any prizes this year. But I do want to acknowledge them, though. As a ride organizer, the earlier your riders sign up, the more you can prepare. Each year, when I announce the registration, that registration is open, there's a flurry of about a dozen different riders vying to be the first. Then registration goes quiet until the week before. So if you're a rider out there going to anybody's ride, please register early. It makes our lives easier. Maybe I should just announce the last registered rider. You know, I'm betting there's somebody online right now that signed up from the parking lot today. Okay, so this year's first rider who signed up on March 11th is Peter Suckling. Congratulations, Peter. You're the winner of the first signed up rider. And for your prize, I'm going to let you go first on the next set of videos.
Hello, Doug. Congratulations on your graduation. You done good, buddy. It's been a long haul, but yeah, you made it. I got a couple of recollections anyway. I remember once when we had Triumphs, back in, a little way back now. I had the Triumph Daytona 955, and there was a few other Triumphs, and we were parked along the back hedge by the church, and you went along and you went metal, plastic, metal, plastic, plastic. You were going by the tanks and you knew exactly what tank was made of what. I thought, wow, that's a bright kid. And then another recollection was, I remember when we were out for one ride, it was torrential rain, and we got back after the ride, went in for the barbecue. That's before all the floors were done in the church, and everyone was having to empty all the water out of their boots and gloves. But I think that was the Triumph group again. That was mostly in that ride. But anyway, have a great ride on Sunday. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to make it or not, but anyway, congratulations again. You take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Hey Doug, it's Milt here. Unfortunately, I'm not able to ride this year in the Ride for Doug, but I've really enjoyed either riding or volunteering over the years. It's been a great run. I especially like to watch you interact with all the riders and to see how you take such an interest in all the bikes and all the various features of them. I hear you're graduating this year, which is great. It's a big achievement, so I just wanted to congratulate you. So, congratulations on graduating, and always remember to keep the rubber side down.
Good. Hey Doug, it's Mrs. Seitzma. You're in grade 12. How did that happen? I pulled up my Ride for Doug shirt from probably grade 4, I think, when I worked the water station. There's no water stations this year, so I'm gonna be on the back of this baby. Anyways, I hope that this year's ride's a huge success, and take care. Have a great grade 12 grad.
Hello, Doug, and the fabulous Penner family. I hope all is well. I'm doing this recording because unfortunately I will not be able to attend this year's ride. My wife and I made the move a month ago to Armstrong, BC to kind of start winding down and living the semi-retired life. But the weather and the forecast doesn't look good, so I'm going to send you this message instead. I was hoping to be there, and I really wanted to be there. I've been doing this for the last 10, 11, 12 years, and it's always been a highlight of my year, always marked down on my calendar when the Ride for Doug was, because it means so much to me. And well, here we are, graduating. It's been quite the journey to see you grow up as a young lad into the fine young adult that we see now. And here's hoping that your future is bright. And now that you're an adult now, I hope all your wishes and your dreams come true. It's been my honor and privilege to ride for you all these years, and it's been a whole lot of fun. My fondest memory is still the one on the way back from the Victoria ride a couple of years ago, where we put on the YMCA song on the ferry as we were docking, and got most of the ferry passengers doing the YMCA as we were docking into Tsawwassen. And I understand there's still a video floating around there of that, so that was a really special moment. All the rides have been absolutely special. With Sam and her grandma's special cookies at all the rest stops, those were always great. The camaraderie of all the riders and what we were there for, and that gorgeous barbecue at the end. Unfortunately, due to COVID this year, things are a little bit different, but we have to go with the flow and do what we can. And I know this is a very special year for you as you're finally getting out of school. And I hope everything goes well after that. All right, buddy. Miss you, and I love you guys. And we'll see you around for sure. All right. Take care from Armstrong, BC. Bye-bye.
It's
All right, am I back? Excellent. I think I'm getting the hang of this. Yeah, watch out, Dave. I'm going to do next Sunday. All right, so this is where my script says I should talk about the results of the ride. But we had a video submitted very, very last minute, and nobody here has seen it yet, but we're going to put it in anyways because that's what responsible people do on a live stream. So if I've given Sarah enough time with my talking to figure out the placing of putting it in, I'm going to let it run now, and let's see what it is.
Hi, Doug. Sorry we're not going to be on the ride with you today. We'll be there in spirit for sure. The money I'm saving...
Oops, that's not the right one. So we won't get to see it then. Or maybe I'll put it on at the end of it when we find out where it is. So now's the time where we go back to the script and we talk about the results of the ride. And first of all, the result is success, 100%. There's no doubt we had a great ride for Doug this year that we will remember forever. We had 47 riders, or 47 bikes, and I don't know how many people that actually was. We had a nice, safe 2-hour ride, and we raised, and I don't have an exact number because, well, it's coming from too many different places, but we raised about $15,000 for Muscular Dystrophy Canada and for special projects for Doug, and that is incredible. I think the split's probably pretty even on that, but give yourselves a hand out there if you took part in the fundraising part of this, because wow. And I've always said the results of the ride are not the money donated. The results of the ride are the memories created, the friendships renewed. When our family can look back in the rearview mirror and see the thundering support of all you riding with us, riding for us. And that's what the ride's about. Knowing that when life deals up a big pothole, we're not alone in dealing with it. It's about showing Doug that he isn't alone. He has a whole village looking out for him. With that said, Ride for Doug is a fundraising event. We raise money for two different things. Both are near and dear to our family's heart. First is Muscular Dystrophy Canada, and they are an organization that both fights against muscular dystrophy through its research funding and fights for families with muscular dystrophy, both fights against there's no rewind, is there? All right, so the first is Muscular Dystrophy Canada. They are an organization that both fights against muscular dystrophy through its research funding and fights for families with muscular dystrophy through equipment, a central place that we can turn for knowledge, advice, and information. The second thing that we raise money for is for special projects at our own home. Ride for Doug helped pay for a stair lift, helped fund some features on Doug's chair, and has funded our short-term wheelchair van. We are still working towards an accessible vehicle that Doug can drive himself and that preferably doesn't look like a soccer mom's car, with apologies to soccer moms everywhere. So in a year where COVID-19 is shutting down fundraising events everywhere, today's result is mind-blowing. Thank you so much for your generosity in this time where so many are facing financial hardship themselves. I've got one last message to share with you tonight, and this is from a man that Doug met while he was handing out awards at a firefighter's banquet nearly a decade ago. Carrie was seated right next to us at a table, and Doug's story resonated with him. He started the Ride for Doug Vancouver Island edition about 7 years ago. So let's hear from Carrie.
Hi, Doug. Sorry we're not going to be on the ride with you today. We'll be there in spirit for sure. The money I'm saving by not coming across on the ferry, I'm going to donate to ridefordug.com. And yeah, congratulations on your graduation this year. And when you go camping at Raft River this year, here's something to keep in mind. How do you get the squirrels to like you? well, you act like a nut. Have a great ride today.
I think we can see why Carrie and Doug get along. Ride for Doug Vancouver Island will take place this year. It's happening on July 5th. The format is going to be a little bit different, but mark your calendars down. July 5th, Ride for Doug Vancouver Island. I think Carrie wanted to hear about what worked and didn't work today before publishing a lot of details. The Ride for Doug website will be updated as soon as we have the information. So, how is this whole live stream working out? It still feels completely unnatural to be talking to a camera with nobody around. I keep wanting to tell bad dad jokes, but the last thing you want to hear when you tell a joke is silence. Oh, I'm getting some cheers here. So that brings us to the end of our evening, and as usual, I want to leave a few words with you before you go. Doug is graduating from grade 12 in either 5 days, or if you go by when they film it, or 3 weeks if you go by when you get to watch it. In either case, that is not very long at all. All of the people we saw in the video today are representatives of the many, many others who are part of Doug's village, our village. Together, a lot of people have contributed to make Doug the young man he is today. Some had obvious jobs, like his teachers and SEAs at school, his youth leaders, his parents and grandparents, his sister, relatives. Some had equally important but less obvious jobs, people who led silently by example, volunteers who set up the parking lot before the ride, volunteers who held signs of encouragement, classmates who set good examples with their actions, doctors and nurses who treated him as a person, not as a patient. There's not a single person in our village that didn't play a part in forming Doug into the young man he is today, and that is what we are celebrating. And I think it's only appropriate at this time to put out a challenge to Doug. Doug, graduation in our society is a marker point. It signals the boundary between growing up and being a grown-up. It is often seen to be the point at which the training wheels come off in life. Grads are told to go challenge the world. My challenge to you is bigger than that. My challenge to you is to expand your participation in the village. Be the example for those younger that can look up to you and grow. Be the example to those older than you who can look at you and change. Yes, you and the youth of the village are already contributing, and I recognize that and thank you. But I challenge you to take it to the next level. Be a member of the village that will shape the world for years to come. So, normally I also take a few minutes to share what challenges we've been facing over the past year. But this year has been significantly different. The last 5 months have shaken the world in ways that we could have never imagined. COVID has suddenly and without warning stripped the expectations and plans from millions of people around the globe. In some ways, it parallels what it's like to raise a child with DMD. Remember that dream you had when your kids were little of driving them to hockey practice, helping them to ride a bike, teaching them to drive. People from everywhere are finding that suddenly, through no fault of their own, they can't do that now. And there's nothing that they can do about it. And that really sucks. For all the pain that COVID is causing, I believe it is also teaching us some good. I watch with hope as empathy and compassion are growing around the world. And that doesn't suck at all. For us, the road ahead isn't any easier than it was before. Sometimes I feel like comparing life to one of those rainy Ride for Doug years. You go out on your bike, and it's raining. And no matter how long and how far you ride, the rain keeps falling. Until you reach the post-ride barbecue, and you come in and out of the rain. Dripping, cold and shivering. The heated room and soft seats take the edge off. And then that hot burger and a cup of coffee to wrap your hands around to warm up. The team puts on a spectacular program, and your spirits are buoyed with the good work done. High fives and applause for fundraising milestones. And then listening to the really cool theme song as it winds up, as the program winds up, puts a smile on your face and a song in your heart. And then you put on your cold, wet gear, and you head out into the lot to swing your leg over the seat of your motorcycle, a cold puddle of water meeting you as you sit down. You start up and ride out of the lot, your visor starting to mist up. The roads are still wet. The corners are still slippery, but your soul has been refreshed, and that change in perspective makes it all possible. Thank you all for coming and celebrating with us. This is where I had a live band lined up to play. I had booked Journey, but they had to cancel. Instead, I want to end with something even better. Here's a song written specifically for Ride for Doug that has been our theme for over a decade. And after the song, I'm going to hang out in the live chat for a bit so we can catch up a bit more. But this will be the end of the planned program.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name's Dave Navarro, and I happen to be the lead pastor at Cam and Allison's church. I did not used to be that. I used to just be someone who went to church with them and a friend. And Ride for Doug's been going so long that when it started, I was a musician. I'm really not anymore. But back then, I wrote a theme song for Ride for Doug. And so I thought for this ride, man, I'd love to be there in person with you guys, but I can't. So I thought I'd send you the song. So I dusted off the old guitar. We're gonna put some fresh calluses on my hands. So here we go. This is for you, Doug. lots of love, guys.
this concrete's cracked, it taunts my tires. Could you be the one to hold me up when all is falling down? And I will ride down this old highway again if you're right behind me. Pavement and stone are too much on my own. Will you ride behind me? Will you ride behind me? Twist, turn, this road winds close, so hold on tight. Rain, storm, wind, I'll make it through with you. And I will ride down this old highway again if you're right behind me. Pavement and stone are too much on my own. Will you ride behind me? Will you ride behind me? Well, I will ride down this old highway again if you'll ride behind me. The pavement and stone are too much on my own. Will you ride behind me? Well, I will ride down this old highway again if you'll ride behind me. The pavement and stone are too much on my own. Will you ride behind me? 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 We love this concrete's cracked, it taunts my tires. Could you be the one to hold me up when all is falling down? And I will ride down this old highway again if you're right behind me. Pavement and stone are too this road winds close, so hold on tight. Rain, storm, wind, I'll make it through with you. And I will ride down this old highway again if you'll ride behind me. Pavement and stone are too much on my own. Will you ride behind me? Will you ride behind me? Well,